हरि ओम। ओम श्री गणेशाय नमः। ओम श्री हिरण्यगर्भाय नमः। ओम श्री महाविष्णवे नमः। ओम श्री महादेवाय नमः। ओम श्री महादुर्गायै नमः। ओम श्री राम रामाय नमः। ओम श्री सद्गुरवे नमः। ओम सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांतिः। ओम गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। ओम समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं भवानी शंकरो वन्दे श्रद्धा विश्वासरूपिणो याभ्यां विना न पश्यन्ति सिद्धाः स्वान्तस्तमीश्वरं वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेदसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीतायाः पतये नमः। बुद्धिर्बलं यशोधैर्यं निर्भयत्वमरोगता अजाड्यं वाक्पटुत्वं च हनुमत्स्मरणात् भवेत्। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। ओम शंकरं शंकराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ओम नमः शिवाय 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 ओम नमः शिवाय। नमः पार्वती पतये। हर हर महादेव। हरि ओम हरि ओम। A very happy Vasant Panchami to you all. Hari Om. So we are seeing this 18th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. It's a very beautiful chapter, and in this chapter Bhagavan summarizes the entire teaching of the Bhagavad Gita. Also the essence of the teaching of the Vedas are summarized in this chapter. Sant Jnaneshwar Maharaj, he calls this chapter as the Kalasha of the temple of Bhagavad Gita. So it begins with Arjuna's question about sannyas and tyaga. Sannyasasya mahabaho tattvam ichchami veditum tyagasya cha rishikesha prathak keshinishodana. Ki he keshinishodana, he Rishikesh, he Mahabaho, I am interested to understand the implied meaning of the word sannyas, the tattvam, the essential meaning of the word sannyas, and also of the word tyaga, because these words were used by Bhagwan while teaching karma yoga, karma sannyas, etc. So Arjuna wants to know exactly what it means. So now Bhagwan begins his reply. So let us chant verse number 2. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Kamyanam Karmanam Nyasam Sannyasam Kavayo Viduhu Sarva Karma Phalatyagam Prahustyagam Vichakshanaha. Bhagavan says that Kavayaha, the great thinkers and knowers, wise people, they are called Kavis, who have deep understanding of our Shastras. They are called the Kavi. So Kavayaha, all those Kavis, Viduhu, they know the meaning of these terms, sannyas and tyaga. So what do they say about it? So he says, Kamyanam karmanam nyasam sannyasam kavayo viduhu. So the Kavis, they say that to renounce Kamyanam karmanam, all karmas which are kamya karma, which are meant to fulfill certain desires, which are given in the Shastras, those karmas which are meant to fulfill certain desires in this world or in the other world, such karmas, to renounce them is called sannyas. And only to perform the nitya naimittik karma, and while performing those karmas also, this great thinker, they say कि सर्व कर्म फलत्यागम, that one should renounce the fruits of the action, fruits of the karma, should not have any attachment to the results of this karma. So prahus tyagam vichakshana, that is called tyaga. See, the meaning of the word sannyas as well as tyaga is to renounce. But here sannyas is to renounce kamya karma, and tyaga is to renounce the attachment to the fruits of action while performing the action. That is what the great thinkers, they say. So let us think about it and try to understand. See, our the Vedas, the Shastras, as I have mentioned before also, the topic of the Shastras are dharma and Brahma. In the Vedas, in the initial portion of the Vedas, the topic is Dharma. And later on, in the Upanishads, the Vedas talk about Brahma, the supreme reality. Both these topics, Dharma as well as Brahma, are beyond our sense perception. Dharma is not something which we can pursue with our senses. And Brahma also cannot be pursued with the senses. Hence, no inference is possible. Therefore, we have to rely on the Shastra to understand what is Dharma and what is Brahma. So the Shastras, they have broadly classified karma into, you can say, 5 categories. One is Nitya karma, then Naimittika karma, Kamya karma, Nishiddha karma, and Prayashchit karma. Nitya karma is those karmas which have to be done regularly every day. So the Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, according to their varna and ashrama, the Vedas, they give certain karmas which have to be done daily without a break. Nitya karma. Then there are those karmas which are called Naimittika karma. They are done on special occasions. Like on Shraddha, we have to do that Shraddha karma. Not every day, but on once a year when the Tithi comes, one does Shraddha for our forefathers. Then some special karmas are done on Grahana and on some other special occasions. So they are called Naimittika karma, occasional duties. They are not daily duties, occasional duties, but they are also duties. These are the two main, Nitya and Naimittika. Then the Shastras also talk about Nishiddha karma. Nishiddha karma means those karmas which are prohibited. Under no circumstances one should perform those karmas, like killing someone or drinking or other karmas which are mentioned. They are called prohibitory karma, Nishiddha karma. Even to urinate or excrete, pass some excretion in the waters, in the rivers or in the oceans, is also considered as Nishiddha karma. And in Kali Yuga, lot of our waste from our all this sewage and all goes into the rivers and the oceans, but they are all Nishiddha, should be avoided, should not be done. So Nitya karma, Naimittika karma, Nishiddha karma. Then there are those Kamya karma. Nishiddha karma is the 4th actually. So Nitya karma, Naimittika karma, Kamya karma. Kamya karma means those karmas which are mentioned in the Shastra to fulfill our desires. Suppose we want children, then we do certain karma. We want a job, we do certain karma. We want money, we do certain karma. We want Swargalok Prapti, we do certain karma. We want to go to Brahmalok, we do certain karma. So those karmas which are mentioned in the Shastras, not those karmas, we are not talking about those karmas which are worldly karmas, desire to go to a movie and all. We are talking about those karmas which are mentioned in the Shastras, which are meant to fulfill certain desires. They are called Kamya karma. And I talked about Nishiddha karma. So Nishiddha karma is prohibitory actions. Then if we commit certain sins, if we do some Nishiddha karma, it is considered as Papa. So if we have done some Papa, the scriptures also talk about some karma by which we can purify ourselves of that particular Papa. That is called the Prayashchit karma. Yeah. So for a dharmic person, those who follow the path of dharma, such a person should do nitya karma, naimittik karma, should avoid nishiddha karma, and that person can also do kamya karma. If he has some desires, he can fulfill those desires following the guidance of the scriptures. Kamya karma. But what about the worldly duties which we do? We work at home, we do something in the world, we have our job, we have our business, we do some other karma in the world to earn our livelihood. Then all this karma should be done following the values of life. Like ahimsa, satyam, asteya, brahmacharya, aparigraha. While doing our worldly karma, we should see that we don't don't break the values of ahimsa, satyam, asteya, brahmacharya, aparigraha. Means of non-violence, truthfulness, non-stealing, self-control, non-hoarding. All these values should be followed while performing work, duties in the world. But here in the Shastra, Bhagwan is talking about, the Shastras talk about Nitya karma, Naimittik karma, Kamya karma, Nishiddha karma, Prayashchit karma. So, Nishiddha karma has to be dropped anyway. Prayashchit karma also then need not be done. And a person who seeks moksha and wants to pursue the path of karma yoga, such a person should also drop kamya karma. Should drop all kamya karma and should only do nitya and naimittika karma as guided by the Shastra. So, to give up this kamya karma is what Bhagwan tells about as sannyas here. So, for a karma yogi, to drop all kamya karma, those karmas meant to fulfill our desires mentioned in the Shastra, not to pursue them, but only do nitya naimittik karma only. And while pursuing that nitya naimittik karma, not to desire any results from those karmas. Out of love, out of gratitude, one just does those nitya naimittik karma. That is called not having any attachment to the results of those actions. That is called tyaga. Okay. So the meaning of the word sannyas and tyaga as conveyed by wise people, Bhagwan shares in this shloka. So sannyas is to give up kamya karma. And here Bhagwan is talking about this sannyas and tyag for those who want to pursue this path of spirituality. And that path begins with karma yoga. A dharmic person who follows the path of dharma can also do kamya karma to fulfill his desires. But when such a person gains vairagya and wants to pursue the path of spirituality to attain moksha, then he should first begin with karma yoga. And in karma yoga, the first step is to give up kamya karma. Nishiddha karma anyway is given up by a dharmic person, but one should drop all kamya karma, that is sannyas, and simultaneously to do nitya naimittik karma without having attachment to the result. Means with nishkam bhavana, one should just do it. See, in the Shastras, the results of nitya naimittik karma are not mentioned. The Shastras do not say that if you do this nitya karma, you will get this result. If you do this naimittik karma, you will get this result. The Shastras don't say. But they also have results. So one should not have any eye on the results of those actions. Those should be done out of sense of duty, with the deep feeling of gratitude and love. One should just perform the nitya naimittik karma without having any attachment to the result. So that is the meaning of the word tyaga. So the meaning of word sannyas and tyaga Bhagwan has revealed in this shloka as declared by some wise people. Okay. But Bhagwan also gives opinion of other thinkers who may have little different opinion. That is also given, which is then later on Bhagwan negates whatever opinion which are not correct. So in the next verse, Bhagwan talk about other thinkers and what are their opinion. So he says, verse number 3. Tyajyam doshavadyate karma prahurmanishinaha yajna dana tapak karma na tyajyamiti chapare. Bhagwan says कि Manishinaha, other thinkers. Here other thinkers, Shankaracharya ji, he writes in his commentary, Manishina Panditaha Sankhyadi Drishtim Ashritaha, those who pursue or have the philosophy, those who have the philosophy of Sankhya, they pursue the path of Sankhya, means Dvaita, Sankhya. So such thinkers, they, according to them, Tyajyam doshavad itteke karma. They say that not only kamya karma, but this nitya naimittik karma also are binding. They also creates bondage. Therefore, according to them, one should give up all karma and just meditate and realize the truth. Should not do any karma. Should give up all karma. Tyajyam doshavat. Because all karmas are doshavat, they have defects. What are the defects? When one performs this karma, one gets attached to the karma, one gets attached to the results of karma, one gets bound to the karma. So all karmas are defective and may lead to bondage. So according to these thinkers, one should give up all karma. Tyajyam doshavad iti eke karma prahur manishinaha. But this statement of these people, they might be wise, but it is not accepted by Bhagavan Sri Krishna. Bhagavan doesn't talk about giving up all karma. And other thinkers also, they also convey that we should not give up all karmas. What do they say? Ki yajna dana tapak karma na tyajyam iti cha apare. So other thinkers, they say that we should give up kamya karma, nishiddha karma, but yajna dana tapak karma should never be given up. Yajna dana tapak karma na tyajyam iti cha apare. This yajna dana tapak karma are our nitya and naimittik karma. They should never be given up. See, in the third chapter also we had seen where Bhagavan elaborately discussed this path of Karma Yoga. In that chapter, Bhagavan had said that yajñārthat karmanonyatra lokoyam karma bandhanaha, that all karmas, they lead to bondage except those karmas which are done as dedicated to Ishvara, means yajñārtha. Those karmas which we do, so dedicating those karmas to Ishvara, those karmas don't bind us. But apart from this, all karmas lead to bondage only, leads to more and more trouble. So this yajna, dana, tapak karma are our duties, should not be given up. All other karmas, kamya karma, can be given up, but yajna, dana, tapak karma na tyajyam iti cha apare. So a person who wants to pursue the spiritual path should begin his journey with Karma Yoga, and in Karma Yoga we fulfill our duties. Duties mean nitya naimittik karma we do, dedicating them to Ishvara. And in those nitya naimittik karma, Bhagavan talks about yajna, dana and tapak karma, which we had seen elaborately in the 17th chapter also. What is yajna karma, what is dana karma, and what is tapas, that we had elaborately discussed. We will discuss some more about it in this chapter also. So yajna, dana, tapak karma na tyajyam iti cha apare. So Bhagavan gave opinion about wise people and other people also. But what is Bhagavan's own opinion? What is Bhagavan's own teaching? See, many times we quote other people, but what is my understanding? What is my teaching? That also I have to convey. So after talking about other wise people, Bhagwan now tells what is his opinion about all this sannyas and tyaga. That Bhagwan now reveals in the 4th verse. So let us chant. Nishchayam shrunu me tatra tyage bharata sattama tyago hi purusha vyaghra trividha samprakirtitaha. Bhagwan says that, He Bharata Sattama, He Arjuna, who was from the Bharata Kula, the best among Bharatanam Sadhutama, कि निश्चयम शृणु मे तत्र त्यागे भरत सत्तमा, that from me you hear the definite understanding of this term sannyas and tyaga. Here Bhagwan says tyage means about tyaga, which includes sannyas also, because tyaga and sannyas, the meaning is same, to renounce. So Bhagwan says, you listen from me now, the conclusive understanding about the term sannyas and tyaga. Nishchayam shrunu me tatra tyage bharata sattama. Bhagwan said, Tyago hi purusha vyaghra trividha samprakirtitaha. In the Shastras, they talk about tyaga also of 3 types. Depending on the gunas, the tyaga, renunciation, also are of 3 types: the tamasic, the rajasic, and sattvic. Tyago hi purusha vyaghra trividha samprakirtitaha. The Shastras, they talk about 3 types of tyaga: tamasic, rajasic, and sattvic tyaga. So you hear from me the definite meaning of the term sannyas and tyaga, what they really mean. So now Bhagwan, in the following verse, he gives his understanding. So let us chant verse number 5. Yajna dana tapa karma na tyajyam karyameva tata yajnyo danam tapaschaiva pavanani manishinam. Bhagwan says that what the wise people have said about giving up kamya karma for a sincere spiritual seeker, about giving up nishiddha karma, is accepted. But one should not give up the nitya naimittik karma. One should not give up performing karma. And the main karma which one should do regularly is yajna, dana, and tapak karma. Yajna, dana, tapak karma na tyajyam karyameva tata. Why? Because yajnyo, danam, tapaschaiva pavanani manishinam. Because this 3-fold karma, yajna, dana, tapak karma, are purifying for everyone, for the wise people, for the wise seeker who follow this path. This yajna, dana, tapak karma will purify their antakarana. So they should not be given up. Okay? So let us think about it. See, our Shastras have given the karma, the duties, according to our varna and according to our ashrama. Varnashrama dharma it is called. So the Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, Stri, Purusha. Then according to the ashrama, the, 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 the brahmacharya ashram, grahastha ashram, vanaprastha ashram, sannyas ashram, according to the ashrama and according to the varna, the duties are prescribed. And there are those duties which are what you call which have to be done regularly, every day. Nitya karma, naimittik karma, according to our varnashrama. But there are so many, so the whole thing is classified beautifully in these three karmas here. Bhagavan says, whatever be your varna, whatever be your ashrama, whatever be your background, you do these three types of karma, yajna, dana, tapak karma. If you are a Brahman, then you can do that specific karma which is meant for a Brahmana. If you are a Kshatriya, then you should do that karma which is meant for a Kshatriya. Similarly for Vaishya, Shudra, for Stri and all. But whatever be your Varna, whatever be your Ashrama, you should do this threefold karma, Yajna, Dana, Tapak karma. Because this threefold karma will purify your antakarana and will set you rolling on this spiritual path. Now let us think about this threefold karma. See, this yajna karma is mainly worshipping Ishvara. Worship of that Ishvara, a regular worship of Ishvara. Then dana, we have seen, sharing what we have with the world around us. And tapas is sharirik, vachik, mansik tapas, to integrate our personality so that we get tuned to the Supreme. So yajna karma is dedicated to Ishvara. Dana karma is dedicated to Ishvara as expressing in this world, as other human beings, animal, birds, plant. And tapas karma is dedicated to Ishvara, residing in our own antakarana, by integrating our personality, by integrating our body, mind, speech. So this threefold karma includes everything. So all those who want to pursue this spiritual path should have this threefold karma in their life. So what do we mean by yajna? As I said, it is worship of Ishvara regularly. So we have to worship Ishvara either in his Saguna Rupa or Nirguna, or Ishvara expressing as Hiranyagarbha, as Vaishvanara. We can do Hiranyagarbha Upasana, Vaishvanara Upasana, or Vyakta Upasana, Vyakta Upasana, or worship the Ishvara alone expressing as the Panchadeva, as Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, as Shakti, as Ganesha. And various expressions of this Shakti are also there, like Durga, Lakshmi, Saraswati. Today we worship on this special occasion Saraswati also. Vasanta, Panchami. They are all Shakti of that Supreme. Also, Bhagwan takes various avatars, so one can worship those avatars. Krishna, Rama, Narsimha, Vamana, Dattatreya. So various Bhagwan's avatars are there which one can worship. One can worship one's own Kula Devata. So every day we should spend some time worshipping Ishvara in whatever form you like. You should worship. One can do the puja, one can chant the mantra, one can chant the name, one can meditate on Bhagwan's form, one can chant the shlokas and the stotras. In various ways one can do this yajna karma. When we do this yajna karma, dedicating our karma to Ishvara, we get tuned to Ishvara, our antakarana becomes pure, and they should be done without any eye on the results of karma. Just out of our love, our gratitude. Every day if you do it, you will feel great sense of peace and quietude within. You will experience that inner joy. But it is done with total nishkam bhav. Not even with the intention of purifying the mind or anything else. Just out of your love, automatically the antakarana will become pure. So yajna karma is a part of our daily duty. Whether we are Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, whether we don't know who we are, whether we see many people are born in a particular varna, but if they don't follow the niyam of that varna, then their varna is only for namesake. And if for many generations, if we don't do the kartavya karma related to that varna, then our varna also gets deleted. So whatever be our varna, whatever be our background, all of us can do this yajna dana tapak karma. Sincerely worship that Ishvara in whatever form you like. Shiva, Ganesh, Rama, Krishna. One can worship that Ishvara. So that is yajna karma. Then dana. Dana is, we have seen, sharing with the world around us. Dana is actually serving the world. Understanding the presence of Ishvara in the world, do something for the world with nishkam bhavana. Do something for other people. Do something for the animal, birds, plant, without expecting anything in return. Out of sheer gratitude and love. See, we do our work, we go to our do our job and all. That we do for our own sake, to earn our livelihood. But every day we should do something for the sake of the world. Or even if we earn our livelihood, some share of that should be given to the world, for the benefit of the world around. So that is dana. Dana if we do, we will get tuned to Ishvara who is present in this world. Yajna if we do, we will get tuned to Ishvara who is transcending this world. Dana if we do, we get tuned to Ishvara who is present in this world. This world is not devoid of Ishvara. So dana is very important. We just pour water, give water to the trees, to the plants, without expecting anything. Not that they will grow and I will get fruits from the tree. Out of our love, that is dana. No expectation at all. That is dana karma. Even if we just pray for the welfare of the world without expecting anything in return. Pray for the welfare of your neighbors, your friends, your relatives. So that is dana only. So yajna, dana and tapas. Ishvara is present in my heart also. Ishvara is present in this world. Ishvara transcends this world. Ishvara is also present in my heart. Ishvara alone is expressing through my body, through my senses, through my mind, through my intellect, through my chitta. So I have to integrate all this equipment towards that Ishvara. The body gets integrated to Ishvara when we use the body for seva. Deva Dvija Guru Prajna Sevanam Pujanam. Our speech gets integrated when we use it to tell only the truth and chant only the mantras and name of Bhagwan. The mind gets integrated when we keep it happy, peaceful. Also observe Mauna. So integrate your personality, focus the whole thing towards Ishvara. So Yajna is worship of Ishvara who is transcendental. Dana is worship of Ishvara who is present in this world. Tapas is worship of Ishvara who is present in your own heart. Every day when we do this, we will get tuned to that Ishvara and our antakarana will become pure. One should do this. Without this karma, we cannot purify our antakarana. Dropping all karma and trying to meditate or do some spiritual sadhana will take us nowhere. Many people waste their entire life perceiving some crazy spiritual ideas, reaching nowhere, ending up in some frustrations. That will not help. In the 3rd chapter also, Bhagwan had told Arjuna that dropping karma will not help you. Na karmanam anarambhat naishkarmyam purushoshnute na cha sanyasanadeva siddhim samadhigacchati. And even here in the 18th chapter, in the end, Bhagwan will tell Arjuna that out of ahankar, if you think that you will not do all these actions, it will not help you. So action should be performed, karma should be performed. And what type of karma? See, all other type of karma which you do, your duties and all, should be done following the proper values of life. Ahimsa, Satyam, Asteya, Brahmacharya, Parigraha. But apart from that, one should do Yajna, Dana, Tapak karma. You might be busy doing so many other work. That is fine. But include these 3. Every day, worship that Ishvara in whatever form, in whatever way. Every day, do something for the welfare of the world. And every day spend some time integrating your personality through tapas. Yajna dana tapak karma if we do, Bhagavan says yajna danam tapaschaiva pavanani manishinam. These threefold karmas are pavanani, vishuddhi karanani. They purify our antakarana. They will purify our antakarana. The wise seeker, the antakarana will get purified. Phala abhisandhinam iti etat. Phala anabhisandhinam iti etat. Without having any desire for the result, when we just with Nishkam Bhavana do Yajna Dana Tapak Karma, it will purify our antakarana. Therefore, Bhagavan says in the next verse that how this Yajna Dana Tapak Karma should be done. He says, Etanyapitu karmani sangam taktva phalani cha kartavyani me partha nishchitam matam uttamam. Bhagavan says, Etani apitu karmani. This karmas, etani. Etani means this. This means Yajna Dana Tapak Karma. Yajna Dana Tapak Karma. Etani tu karmani sangam taktva phalani cha. One should do it without any attachment and without having any desire for the results. Just an expression of your love and gratitude. Without expecting anything. Just do it. Like we do puja of Bhagwan, just do it. Like we chant Bhagwan's name, just chant without expecting anything. That alone is the best. Whatever is required for us and all, Bhagavan knows. We don't have to tell him also. Yeah, just express your love for Ishvara, the transcendental Ishvara, the Ishvara who is immanent in this world, and the Ishvara who is there in your heart. The transcendental Ishvara is worshipped through Yajna. The immanent Ishvara who is present in this whole world through Dana. And the Ishvara who is there in your heart through Tapas. So Yajna Dana Tapak Karma, Bhagavan says, Etani tu karmani sangam taktva phalani cha. Give up all attachment and without having any attachment to the results, one should do it. With what attitude? Kartavyaniti, that it is my kartavya, it is my duty. I am doing it because it has to be done. I am doing it because as a human being, it has to be done. I am born as a human being. These are my duties, so I am just doing it. Bas. Kartavyaniti me partha nishchitam matam uttamam. This is my nishchit mata. This is my confirmed opinion, my determined, what you call confirmed teaching. Nishchitam matam. Uttamam. This is the best. Uttam matam. Best opinion, best advice of mine to you that you do Yajna Dana Tapak Karma to integrate your personality, to tune to Ishvara, to purify your mind. This is the Karma Yoga. And only by following this Karma Yoga, our Antakarana will become pure, we will gain knowledge. And once we gain knowledge, we can then pursue the path of meditation. pursue the path of nididhyasana. So there are these twofold path, the path of karma and the path of nididhyasana. Lokesmin dvividha nishtha pura prokta maya naga jnana yogena sankhyanam karma yogena yogina. The path of karma yoga and path of jnana yoga. The path of jnana yoga is this jnana nishtha, nididhyasana. After gaining knowledge, we should pursue that path to gain abidance in our own self. That Bhagavan will explain later on. But here he is talking about the path of karma yoga. So whether you are a Stree, you are a Purusha, you are young, you are old, you are and nowadays with whatever faith, with whatever background, everyone should do, as a human being, everyone should pursue this yajna, dana, tapak, karma with nishkam bhavana. Every day spend some time worshipping Ishvara. Every day spend time in worshipping Ishvara in this world, that is dana. Do something for the world in whatever way. And every day spend some time integrating your personality, your body, mind, speech. Integrate them through the tapas. So when we do this, our antakarana will become pure and we shall gain the proper knowledge of the self. But Bhagavan had said that there are three types of tyaga, or three types of sannyas, sattvic, rajasic, tamasic. What are they? That Bhagavan will tell in the following verses, which we will do in our class tomorrow. So till then you take care, be happy, safe, peaceful, healthy. Do your work, do your sadhana. Contemplate on what you heard today. Understand this yajna, dana, tapak, karma properly. Very interesting. And find out your own way of pursuing this path of yajna, dana, tapak, karma with nishkam bhavana. And your mind will become pure and the knowledge of the self will dawn into your heart. Then you can pursue the path of nididhyasana. So we'll meet again tomorrow. Hari Om. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram. 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 Jaya Jaya Ram. Jaya Jaya Ram. Boli Syavar Ramachandra Bhagwan ki jai. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.